Hello there. I'm continuing the series and showing and analyzing my games from these over-the-board tournaments I participated this summer, and now I'm in the round 3. So, just as an introduction to this game was played at 5 afternoon. I played 2 games before, round 1 and round 2. Round 1 was played the day before. It was a very long game, lasted more than 4 hours. And then it was night. I didn't have a good night's sleep because I changed my bed, my pillow, the accommodation and everything since I'm here on this island in the private accommodation facility. So I didn't sleep very well. I was tired, and then I played a second round. I think it was at 10 a.m. or something, or 9. I'm not sure. And then it was another game which lasted more than 4 hours. So I was already completely exhausted. And then between the rounds, I had to take my kids to the beach because it's summer, we are on the island, and the day was very, very hot. I mean, the summers in Croatia are generally very hot with very strong sun on the beach. So my point is that in between the rounds, I didn't go take a nap, but I was on the beach looking after my kids, being under sun, and yeah. And anyway, it was 5 o'clock. I came to the tournament to play this round 3. I just wanted to get to go to sleep, or I was really, really tired. And it so happened that my opponent, since I've lost 2 games, I got a weaker opponent, and this was a kid who is like, I think, 11 or 12 years old, and he's a beginner. So this was his first international tournament. He didn't have any rating. He does have some national rating, so he played on the national level, but not on this kind of tournaments. So I thought that, okay, this is a little bit weaker opponent. I don't have to think, because I really was not capable of deep thinking after all these exhaustions and everything I went through in the last 2 days. So, this was of course a mistake, because in chess you are never allowed to underestimate your opponent. It doesn't matter if your opponent is young, if your opponent is lower rated. I mean, if you are not careful, you can always blunder. You can lose a queen, and then you will lose a game, regardless of your of the difference between your ratings. So this is the mistake I made, and you will see how the game went. So I opened the game with e4. I was white here, and we went just straight to the Italian. I mean, kids, when they learn to play, they play just this, so they know how to play it. So knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, and these are usual moves. And now here there are several options. You can go either directly maybe for d4 if you want to have a crazy game. You can play d3. I usually play c3, just preparing d4 somewhere in the future, not immediately. So c3, okay. And usually here the game continues that knight f6 is played, and then I mean, you can still go d4 after knight f6, but then it's wild crazy because your e4 pawn is loose. So it's a wild game. So here, usually after knight f6, I just play quiet d3, and then I continue my development. But here he played d6, and the philosophy of my philosophy of opening, and I think the philosophy behind the Italian game, is that you want to play d4 as soon as you feel comfortable to play it. So on every other move here, other than knight to f6, for example, some people play h6, or I don't know, or even b6. So on every other move, I just go d4. So d6, I just go d4. Okay. E takes d4, c takes d4. Now I have established a pawn center. I have 2 central pawns. He has only 1. So it's already nice advantage for white. He retreated his bishop. I develop my other piece, knight to c3, bishop to g4. Okay. And here, like I said, I played this one rather quickly, and I didn't want to think and calculate. I was just too lazy and too tired. So I thought here, okay, this pattern looks familiar. This bishop is undefended. So if I can somehow make a check with my knight, I can take this bishop away. And this in fact is a familiar pattern, but you still have to calculate, because every position is unique. So I thought like this, okay, bishop takes f7, king takes f7, knight g5 check, king moves somewhere, and then I take the bishop. And here I even saw that after knight g5 that he can take with the queen, but I thought that I will take his bishop before and then it will be covered. So let me just play you the variation which I saw. So I saw check, okay, check, he has to move back, and now I have to take I can take the bishop, and now my knight is covered. And I just won a pawn. And certain advantages and so on. But in fact I didn't see what happened in the game, so I executed this. So this is what I actually played. Bishop takes f7, king takes f7, I put a check, and now instead of moving the king, he just took the knight. And now he has his bishop covered. I mean, it's so elementary tactics. But the fact is, I didn't even calculate. I thought, I just went for one line. So, okay, I take, check, take, and this is over. And I just play this. So, this is what happened. And now I'm a piece down. Not just one, in fact I'm 2 pieces down. So instead of being 1 pawn up, I ended up being 2 pieces down. So, I mean, what do? You play a long time control tournament. I mean, this is not some blitz 3+1, so I can hope to, you know, it doesn't matter if you lose a piece, if you have some trick in the sleeve. But I mean, this is a long game, and we both have like hour and a half on the clock, and I'm 2 pieces down. So what to do? Well, I realized that well, it doesn't matter how tired I am. It doesn't matter how exhausted I feel at the moment. I just now have to think. I have to play my best chess if I want to make through with this game. I was aware that my opponent was weaker, but come on, 2 pieces. It's not it's not something to neglect. And okay, maybe you can see that I can win 1 piece relatively quickly, but yeah, I will still be a piece down. So at this moment I started to think, and I started to calculate, and still I was just lucky to win the game. So I went queen b3, check. I mean, there are plenty of things to do here. I could just take the queen, he takes the queen, I take the bishop, and the game goes on. But I wanted to be more active, more attacking, more aggressive. Just try to put as more pressure as I can, hoping that he will crack at some point. So queen to b3 check, bishop to e6. He's blocking the check. I took this bishop. He took the queen. I took the queen. Okay. And now this pawn is also loose, so he took the pawn. So terrible position. So here I just have to go forward. I just have to be as aggressive as I can. So this is why I castled long. I castled queenside here. So at this moment I don't care about my king's safety. I just wanted to put my pieces in the center as quick as possible and try to be as aggressive as possible. And if I succeed, I succeed. If not, I not. So no time for you know, quiet positional game and you know, safety of the king, pawn structures. I'm not interested in any of this at this moment. So he played rook to f8, knight to d5. Now I'm already making some threats to retrieve my piece, so you can see that this knight is defended only by this bishop. So if he would play something irrelevant, then I can just take the bishop, and then afterwards I can take the knight. So already I'm making some threats. He saw this, he played c5. Now I don't have this threat because knight is covered by c5. So okay, I went on the other side of the board. I played f4, he played h6, and I just moved forward. So I just played f5. Now you see that everything is hanging. I mean, if he takes this pawn, so okay, my knight is defended only by this pawn. So if he takes this pawn, it can be some kind of deflection here. Also, this is hanging. So you can see my style of play here. Everything is hanging, and I don't care. I just want to move forward. I just want to make pressure and make him made a mistake. And he actually did. So the best move here was, I think, according to the engine I saw later, was just to take with the rook and just give up the exchange, but have this position, you know. And then I have to move away my bishop, and yeah, he has 2 pieces for my rook, and he has better pawn structure. He has more pawns, so this was like the best from the engine. But I think from the human perspective, I think he could just play something like rook to d7. I mean, I don't have any threats here. In fact, my bishop is hanging, so I have to move away my bishop. I don't see what can I do. But okay, like I said, I made a lot of pressure, and he made a mistake, so he took the pawn with the knight. I guess he forgot that after he moves his knight, my knight is covered, so this deflection doesn't work anymore. So I took with check, and here, I mean, still he's up in the material. I think he's 1 pawn up. So he should just retreat his king, and he's still a little bit better. But okay, I'm already back in the game. And he made just a huge blunder, and he took with the king. And yeah, and immediately he took with the king, and then he was like, oh no. And then I saw that it is a blunder. I mean, I'll probably see this without him making the gesture, but okay, it was yeah, interesting. So okay, now it's easy. Now he's just losing the rook. So I played rook h2 f1 check. He took the bishop. I take the rook. He now moves his bishop away, and you can see that now I'm completely winning material-wise, and also there are several ways to checkmate, because I have another rook coming. I have the knight coming, so it's just a matter of now calculation to deliver checkmate. It's game over. So I play knight to e7. You can see that now I'm pinning. I'm actually going for the more material. So I'm just going for this knight, because, like I said, I was too tired to calculate. So I didn't. I saw, okay, there could be a checkmate somewhere, but let's just take material. So by playing knight to e7, I'm now attacking this piece twice, and he cannot move this piece because he will lose the rook. So I'm winning more material. Rook h7, rook takes g8, g6, rook takes g6 check, knight h5. And now I think at this moment some spectators came. I still didn't want to checkmate. I was still looking how to just win material or exchange material and win in the end game. I'm so lazy to calculate. But then some spectators came along, and they were watching the game, and I was like embarrassed. Okay, so now the people are watching. I have to deliver checkmate, because it's I mean, it's embarrassing not to checkmate in this position. So yeah, I gave check, king to h4, and now there are 2 ways to deliver checkmate very fast. One is to play rook d3 followed by rook h3 checkmate, and he cannot stop this checkmate. I mean, he can insert some checks, but he cannot do nothing to stop this. And another way, which I saw immediately, is to play h3, and then this is checkmate. Again, he can stop this checkmate by, for example, putting the rook, and then I have to take the rook and then deliver checkmate. So he can put his, and then he can maybe insert some checks. So he can put his pieces in the way of checkmate, but basically this is unstoppable. So I think he saw this. He just took the knight, and then I delivered checkmate. Okay, so it was embarrassing game. Yeah, I did win, but I mean, just overseeing these basic tactics, and then have to play some kind of weird chess in which you have to abandon all principles and just try to make pressure and win psychologically against younger and weaker and less experienced opponent. I mean, it's just embarrassing. This game was embarrassing for me. I was even thinking, should I show this on my channel or not? But okay, I mean, it's all chess, and I dedicated myself that I will analyze all the games I play over the board here on this channel. So here it is. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something from it. Basically, don't be lazy in calculating. If the pattern seems familiar, just calculate all the way. So this is, I guess, the main lesson. Okay, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you like the video, leave the comment below, subscribe to my channel if you are not subscribed already, and I'll see you soon with more chess. Cheers.